Action! Activate!
Here we come! There they go! Evil rise! 'Cause they know we're super soldiers! We got cool clothes! You real smooth! And you see our pose! Tension! Energize! Let's go! Time to ride! Combine! Grease ties!
Hello there, it's me, Gazbot, for Action Activate. And if I am Gazbot and this is Action Activate, well then with me as always.
It is I. It is the big dog. So, before we dive into things, usually what happens on the days we record is we catch up on life, we talk about random things, and today, in classic Action Activate fashion, we went down a rabbit hole of talking about comic book movies and superhero movies because we both recently saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We both liked it, we both recommended it to people, and it got us thinking, what are some of our favorite movies in the genre?
And we didn't get too far into it before we decided that let's do this.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of combine both genres for this list. There's no particular order because we're kind of go as we find them. We're both going to use a list on a website called Flights, Tights, and MovieNights.com that show allegedly every comic book and superhero movie on there by release date. So if there's any we missed,
yeah, you could tell us if we missed it, but we're not going to do that yet. So if you have that list open, close it.
yes,
First, because we started just talking about like the reason this started was like, oh yeah, Guardians 3 is like top 10 superhero movie of all time, maybe top 5. And he's like, well, superhero or comic book? I'm like, well, I don't, what else is there? And we started going that way. So first, we're going to just sort of see what we could think. And then we'll go and review the list and see where we're like, oh, I can't believe I forgot that.
yes.
But the where my mind went, well, okay, I'll start. I'll just throw a few out there that I think of as like ones that should go on the list. So Guardians 3, Spider-Man. Wait, what's the third one?
No Way Home is the third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
Okay, so Spider-Man, No Way Home, Spider-Man 2 from Sam Raimi. Go ahead. And then the third Wolverine movie was just called Logan or Wolverine. What was it called?
I
want to say Old Man Logan, but that's not what it was called. It was Logan.
You're correct.
Okay, so those are the 4 that come to my mind. There's a million others, but those are like the 4 that like, and recency bias because they're all somewhat recent. What are the ones that quick pop into your head?
Dark Knight, The Crow, Deadpool, X-Men 2. That's a big one for me. A lot of people would say 89 Batman. I like it, but I'm it's not cracking my top 10.
It might crack my I guess it depends how many we start with. You know what I mean? That's the thing, how many we start with. Because again, going back to Superman, Chris Reeves Superman 1 or 2. One of those I feel like may be on the list. I don't know. But it's like, well, here's the thing. Is it like, what is the best as a film just by itself? What is a personal and or sentimental favorite? And or what is the best compared to the others in that genre? Like, or what is most important? Like Iron Man, whether you love it or hate it, you can't deny that's like a super important movie. So like, what criteria are we using here?
I think, and I'll leave this up to you. Do we want to go what we think the top 10 best are, or do we just want to go 100% biased and on what our rough top 10 are?
So like come to a consensus where like, okay, weighing all the pros and cons, this is what we believe are the top 10 best / most important movies in the genre, or this is what I like and it doesn't matter if it makes sense.
Or both. I mean,
I think this is what I like and it doesn't matter if it makes sense is more fun. And anything that overlaps, we could make that be the super list of like, well, I guess those are the, you know.
We both agree, undeniably this cracks the overall top 10, then sure.
Right. Okay. Well, then I'm going to get a piece of paper here because my memory is poop.
Sounds good.
I think what I'm going to do we want to hit the list?
No, I think we spitball first. Like we each came up with a little less than 10 total.
I said 4. So how many did you?
About 4.
Oh, 10 total. Okay, so let's say one more each. So Can I? This is a weird one. Can I see? Okay, now already we're getting into the weird minutia because I'm feeling like one of the Christopher Reeve Superman movies should be on there, and it should be 1 or 2. But there's a Richard Donner cut of 2 that was never in the theater. It's like what it was supposed to be that came out on DVD a couple of years ago, and it's kind of cobbled back together. I would want to put that on there, but does that even count? Like,
I'm gonna say,
yeah,
for the sake of our list, or lists, that the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2 can be on here just as much as the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League that's 4 hours can be on here.
Okay, that makes sense. I do think there's a stronger argument for that one since it like was on HBO streaming.
It's a totally different movie.
It's a totally different movie, and it's much more accessible to a casual person might just see it, whereas nobody is accidentally seeing the Richard Donner cut of 2. You know what I mean? But
I did it. That is what I don't think it's the first time I saw 2, but it is like one of the prevalent ways I saw 2.
Hey, okay, well there you go. You're probably in the minority though.
Probably.
Okay, so we each have. Well, what was your 5th then?
That was the thing. I was thinking of. I've thought of a lot of superhero movies, but so many of them are not even close to the top 50, even if there's only 40 of them. Like Batman and Robin, not in there.
Let's go another way. Let's say what would definitely not in the top 10. Definitely not in the top 10.
Joel Schumacher superhero movie.
Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. I agree with that. What other superhero movies did he do?
I don't know, but I'm just covering my bases.
I will say Tank Girl. While that is a personal sentimental favorite of mine, it is not a good movie.
Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Elektra, which I've never seen, but I know I don't need to.
Pretty terrible. The Spirit is one of the top 5 worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
I won't go that far, but it is not good, and I never need to see it again. And I'm not a huge Spirit fan. Like, I'm not like, this is not my Spirit, but I know enough about the Spirit to know that it isn't a shitty.
I mean, it's whatever. Keep going.
We're off the cuff. Yeah, we're not talking about Power Rangers, so I accidentally, So
that's all good.
I know that it's not supposed to be a less good version of Sin City. It's that, and that's what it was in the movie.
I haven't seen Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, but I'm assuming it won't crack our top 10.
I haven't seen it either, and I'm assuming the same, considering how much I love the first Sin City. 300, not cracking my top 10.
I did love 300. The sequel to 300, not cracking our top 10. Blade Trinity, not cracking our top 10.
I will say none of the Blades cracking top 10.
Ooh.
I liked the first Blade a lot. Well, I don't remember the second Blade.
The second Blade was Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I liked both of them, but I don't think either. They were kind of important because it was before the big revolution of superheroes.
Yeah, there's an argument to be made, but you're probably right. They're such good movies, though.
I mean, you know what it is? It's not that I don't like them. It's I could think of like 10 right now I like better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what, going back to X-Men. Yeah, X-Men 2, I'm with you. That's probably
X3
the one.
Won't.
No, neither will the first one. The first one was, again, important and amazing that it happened, but it's not the best by any means.
So 1, 3, Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix are all out.
Yeah, I never saw Dark Phoenix. Believe it or
I haven't
not.
either. I've heard it's awful.
But I did like Days of Future Past, and I did like First Class. Yeah, so we have like the same taste in X-Men movies, basically. But again, if I'm looking at X-Men movies, then Logan is like, I mean, I know it's Wolverine, but like that's where I'm going.
So the Wolverine, although I enjoyed it, not cracking it. Wolverine Origins never will crack it, no matter what.
Deadpool 2, I liked both. Deadpool 2 won't.
No, it's good, but I wouldn't put it great in like the top 10 ever.
If Deadpool 2 won't make it, then I don't think Deadpool 1 will make it for me. Because I like them kind of equally for different reasons, you know?
I can see 1 making it for me, definitely over 2.
Well, the idea, I feel like we're again, this is the conversation we were having. This is why this isn't like the top 10 and we did our research and here's graphics, because this is the same conversation. Well, then we're just kind of going in circles and throwing stuff out because like we don't have a list.
Yeah,
we don't have a list at all yet. So
it's a live stream that no one gets to interact with but us.
Yeah. Okay, here's one. We should have made this a live stream, actually. Would have made more sense, but
yeah.
So, I don't even have our little things up here. Here we go. Bloop. I'm not a Mystic Bot today. Another one that is not going to make it is Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh yeah, no,
Um,
none of the Spy Kids movies are in that
I
genre.
never saw Meteor Man, but I'm assuming that's not going to crack the top 10.
Dark Knight Rises won't crack my top 10.
Dark Knight. Oh, Dark Knight is a good one though to think about top
Dark
10.
Knight for sure.
No,
Like
Dark Knight Rises and Batman Begins. Both of those won't be in my top 10, but yeah, Dark Knight is possible. Batman 89 for me is possible.
Begins might be in contention. Batman Returns is not for me.
Okay.
Superman 3 and 4 are not for either of us.
No, although I do enjoy Superman 3, but I would not say it's a good movie.
I enjoy Batman Forever in the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, okay, well, so let's go through the Batman movies. So let's do it this way. Okay, so Batman movies that would be up for contention. It would be 89, Dark Knight.
I think Begin should be in consideration, but I'm biased. Yeah.
Okay. So, and then none of the Ben Affleck stuff.
It'd be 2 movies, and one of them was a Batman movie.
Well, I'm just trying to I'm trying to pick a way we could make so like Batman movies. The only other we wouldn't put any movie that has Ben Affleck Batman in it as a Batman. This is a good example of a Batman movie that we need to put on this part of the list.
We'll go singular and then team. Will be 2 separate
There's
ways.
also the Adam West Batman movie, which again I love, but I can't say it's like one of the best movies of all time. Okay, so let's look at Superman. Superman, go ahead.
1 and 2 only consideration.
Yeah, 1 and 2. Okay, and then the Returns is terrible, and I didn't really like Man of Steel.
I enjoyed Man of Steel. It's not cracking my top 10 ever.
Yeah, I guess that's more important is the cracking top 10. Wonder Woman. I think that the only Wonder Woman movie we've had is the only character, the actress playing Wonder Woman is the recent one. I liked the first one. I did not at all like the second one.
I hated the second. I actively.
I can't even say I did not like it all. There were moments I enjoyed, but it's not top 10. And the first one, as much as I liked it, I don't think that's top 10. You know what it is? It's top 10 DC movies for sure, but that's a different thing. So I don't think any Wonder Woman movie is cracking it. But let's stick with DC. So we got Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Flash hasn't come out yet, and that's the first Flash movie. Green Lantern is not going on anybody's list. I feel like there's another big one. What?
I haven't seen Jonah Hex.
I haven't either, but I don't think that's gone on the list.
Either. Cowboys versus Aliens, I haven't seen. Also, I don't think it's happening.
The DC one?
I don't remember who put it out.
I will not stand up and say it's great. I do remember enjoying it, but that's not saying anything.
I enjoy the movie Constantine. It's not cracking my top 10.
I would put Constantine over Cowboys and Aliens, but I agree neither one is cracking the top 10. Wait, there's another DC movie. Well, Suicide Squad 2, the Birds of Prey movie. Both of those are good, but they're DC good.
I love The Losers. It's not cracking my top 10.
Losers? I don't think I've seen that.
You have it? Oh, it's such a great popcorn movie. It's got Zoe Saldana, Chris Evans, and Papa Winchester. I forget his actor's name.
I do remember seeing like a Netflix ad for that or something, but I haven't seen it now. Wait, the second Suicide Squad movie, I don't think it's cracking top 10, but I did enjoy it quite a bit.
I enjoyed it, not in my top 10. The first one, not in my top 10 either.
The first one I thought was very bad. And Birds of Prey I thought was not good. Like it was a bad movie, but had some really cool stuff in it.
Yeah, it was flawed.
It was a really good visual spectacle that had no story that made sense.
Yeah, Justice League, the Whedon one, hard no.
I never saw the one. You believe that?
Good.
I've only seen the Snyder.
The Snyder one I really enjoyed. It's not cracking my top 10, but I like that it was what it was.
I enjoyed it more than I thought I would based on what I had heard about the Whedon one. But yeah, wouldn't crack top 10.
Aquaman, no.
Aquaman, again, I liked. Like all of the top 10 that's the sad part. It's like I'm thinking of all the top 10 DC. I'm like, yeah, but they're not going to be top 10, same thing with Shazam. I kind of like that. It was cute, but it's not. Yeah. I never saw the second one. Or no, the second one's out now, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Black Adam. I never saw Black Adam.
My
computer went into screensaver mode. Why?
There you go.
It doesn't really.
Everything's still recording, so we're good. I just checked.
Yeah, yeah. What
I
other?
think that's it that we can think
I
of.
feel like we're missing a few, but the old Swamp Thing movies, but I'm not counting those in the top 10. I'm just trying to see if we've forgotten anything.
No,
Do
I
we want to
know.
go to the list? Do we want to go to the list?
Let's do this, and then we'll go to the list when we're done.
We're just doing DC, and then we're going to the list.
No, when we're done with DC, we'll move to Marvel.
Oh, we're 15 minutes in right now.
Yeah, they go faster.
How do you go faster remembering?
Fine,
And then
I'll go to the list.
okay.
I'm going to spoil something right now. There is nothing before the year 1950 that we're considering.
Shadow Strikes, Dick Tracy, Behind the Mask. Yeah, none of that. Oh, Dick Tracy. I forgot about that movie that came out in like the 80s or 90s. Lone Ranger. Okay, so we're gonna start.
And some of these are foreign films.
Oh yeah, huh?
All right. Well, it says, do you want to jump to 1980? So
Let's jump to 1978 because that's Superman, and to me, that's the beginning of modern superhero movies.
Flash Gordon. That's a fun one, but it's not in my top 10.
Agree to both things. So okay, so that's then let's see, 79. A lot of these are TV movies too, which is tough. Okay, 80, Flash Gordon. It does have the Donner cuts listed specifically too. Condor Man, heavy metal. I guess because it's based on a comic. That's a crazy, interesting animated movie, but I wouldn't. It's almost not this genre. Like yes,
it's like
it's what? Excuse me.
Similar to like Wizards, very like
it's like
movie.
I think it's worth watching for sure, but not.
So how about this? I'll read this list and you do the written list.
But you're gonna read out everything?
No, I'm going to skim and read the relevant things instead of reading everything that we're saying. This is a weird thing that's on this list.
Okay, but you might skim things that I wouldn't.
Are you putting Toxic Avenger or
That's
Sheena?
what I was thinking about. Toxic Avenger. That is one that should be mentioned, and you might have skimmed.
I haven't seen Toxic Avenger. I like Buckaroo Banzai. My dad loves that movie. It's not in my top 10.
Toxic Avenger, I don't think should be top 10, but I think it's worth mentioning that it was a movie. Buckaroo Banzai. This is, I'm usually the one that's like, I can't believe I have never finished watching that movie.
Really?
I tried to watch it once, and I'm like, this is boring. Now, it should be something I love because 80s movies is my jam, and it's an 80s movie and it's wacky sci-fi. I like Peter Weller, the main character, and it's like, oh, he's this time traveling punk rocky comic book guy. Like this seems like a movie that was written for me. I didn't see it as a kid. I didn't see it when it came out. I saw it, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years ago. I like watched a half hour of it and I'm just like, what is this? And I stopped watching it and never went back. Now I know I'm in the minority and there's something wrong with me because everybody that likes the things I like love this movie, but should I watch it? Should I give it another chance?
I think you personally should, but I'm not going to say it's in your top 10 when you're done watching it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Let's see. Weird Science, I don't consider either of these genres, but it's on this list. Howard the Duck, hard no.
Hard no, but it belongs on the list, and I did love it as a kid.
I haven't seen this, Masters of the Universe, but it would be a no for me.
That movie, I enjoy it more as an adult than I did as a kid, but it's still terrible. As an adult, I'm like, I can't believe they made this movie, and some of this set design is fantastic. As a kid, I'm like, this doesn't look like He-Man, and it's not a good movie.
So this next movie and series of movies we can kind of lump together. I've never watched one of the movies in this series in its entirety, but I've watched a lot of it.
Are you going to say RoboCop?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, now it's my turn to be. That's the other Peter Weller movie. That's so funny.
Reverse.
RoboCop was the opposite, where I saw that. I shouldn't have. I was a child and it's rated R, but I saw that in the theater and loved it. And I watched all the sequels as they got bad, but like the first two RoboCop movies I thought were fantastic. But they're not comic book movies. I guess they're superhero movies, but I think of it as more as like sci-fi or something. Like I wouldn't put it in the top 10.
They're also comics now. So I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 or both, but Frank Miller wrote the script for at least one of them.
Infamously, Frank Miller wrote a script for 2. And they, as happens, they kind of took his script and then had other people write it. And they basically took his script and turned it into 2 and 3. And he's like, that's terrible. That's not what I wanted. You ruined it. And my opinion, which I think is most people's opinion, is that 2 is pretty good. And 3 is like, what is happening? And I think it's because they took all the best stuff from his script and put it in 2, and then just didn't know how to make 3 be a thing. Is the guess. But no, 1 is amazing, 2 is good or great depending on who you talk to, and 3 is everybody thinks it's bad.
I forgot that
Peter Weller. That's the other thing. Which you would think wouldn't matter, but it does. It's really noticeable that it's not him. Like,
forgot this was a movie. The Dolph Lundgren Punisher, not in consideration.
No, but it wasn't that bad when I saw it a million
I
years ago.
really enjoyed the Thomas Jane one. Not my top 10.
I haven't fully seen the Thomas Jane Punisher.
I haven't fully seen the Warzone.
Warzone I saw and I liked, but I wouldn't put it in top 10.
Same. So as we're going through this list, I'm kind of jumping around just to save time. If we're like, oh yeah, we didn't talk about Punisher. Boom, 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 boom.
Right. Also, I feel like we haven't listed any that are in the top 10 in this list so far.
Yeah. Captain America from 1990. Haven't seen it, but
it was like a direct to video movie. He had rubber ears. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm not listening to that part. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It was terrible.
I found a controversial one for us that isn't going to break my top 10, but I forgot is in consideration. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That first one is really good.
It is.
I don't know if it'll be in my top 10 or not, but it's definitely not in my top 10.
All 3 are not in my top 10.
Well, 2 and 3 are definitely not. 1 is the only one that is good. The others might be enjoyable, but they're not good.
Go Ninja.
Yeah.
Right.
Darkman is a fantastic movie, but it's like, is that even a superhero movie? It feels like a horror movie or a weird sci-fi movie.
I forgot this was an American movie, Guyver.
That's not top 10.
Rocketeer, I haven't seen, but it's a no.
Rocketeer, I saw. I think I'd enjoy it more if I saw it now than when I was younger. But it's still a no.
We've already mentioned some of the. This one technically counts, and I don't remember when I watched it in its entirety. But Mask of the Phantasm for Batman.
I don't think we should count animation because that opens a whole Pandora's box.
I think we can pick and choose because it's our list and we can do what we want. Well, we're not putting it in our top 10, but it's worth noting that it existed at this time.
I wouldn't put it in my top 10. And matter of fact, controversially, I would put the Batman Beyond movie in my top 10 if I was picking one of those.
Here's the thing, because we can consider that, and down the line, we can consider Spider-Verse.
Oh.
So, see?
I would put Spider-Verse over either of those.
Well, we'll get there. That's what I'm saying. So, it's not in the top 10, but it's worth noting.
Okay.
Super Mario Brothers is a hard no. Blank Man, also a no.
Cemetery Man is a horror movie. It's a great horror movie. It's like dark comedy. Should not be on this list. Well, maybe it's based on a comic. Actually, maybe I'm showing my ignorance. If it's based on a comic, okay. But if it's not, it's a horror movie. It's a comedy horror. It's like an Evil Dead type movie.
First official movie cemented in my top 10. Ooh. The Crow.
Are you going to write down your own list, or you want me to write this?
If you write it down because you have a pen and paper, that'd be great. But
okay, well, my notes are hard. This is my notes. It's terrible. Can you see this?
Kind of. I mean, it's better than the nothing I wrote. So
yeah.
All right, Crow's in for me.
Okay.
Other
Man, again with Jim Carrey, great comedy movie, but like it is a comic book movie. I don't think of it that way though, so it's not top 10.
Same. The Shadow, I didn't really watch. I don't recall all of it.
I think it's better than it gets credit for, but it's not great.
The Fantastic Four movie, I haven't watched. I heard it's actually a reasonable movie when you watch it.
For the time, it is a reasonable movie. It is not cracking anybody's top 10 list. It's not cracking a top 50 list, to be honest. But
for those following at home, we are now in the year 1995.
Yes.
I guess 2 of these movies count. Judge Dredd, no for me.
Terrible.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, not my top 10.
My top 10 now,
but I do enjoy it. You already brought up Tank Girl. Barbed Wire, it's a no from me.
A no for me. A lot of sequels to other things we already said no to.
Another movie I haven't seen, The Phantom.
That's horrible. If you think The Shadow is not good, the Shadow is to The Phantom as Batman is to the Shadow. Like there's that much of a gap. Like the Shadow, you might like it, you might not like it, but it's an okay movie. The Phantom, you only watch if you want to like laugh at how bad it is. It is not. Do you remember what the tagline was?
No.
Slam evil, and he's like punching. I don't know if that's from the comic or not because I've not read very few Phantom comics, but whether it is or not, it was a terrible tagline. Slam evil. No.
1997 was a prevalent year for these movies, but only one of them I would argue is good.
Well, we have Batman and Robin and Spawn and Steel, Turbo Power Rangers movie. I think you're looking at Men in Black.
Correct.
Men in Black is a fantastic movie. This is where I have difficulty because it is based on a comic, but it's like it doesn't feel like it fits. But I'll put it down. I'm going to put it down.
I'm not putting it in my top 10, but I'm noting it as a good movie.
I'm noting it as well. Yeah. Batman, Sub-Zero, Blade, Nick Fury.
Blade is in consideration for me. I don't know if it'll make the top 10, but I do really enjoy that movie.
It's an important movie historically for sure, and I enjoyed it. I just don't see it.
First, you could argue it is the first mainstream superhero movie that is R-rated and great.
And Marvel, because we had Batman and Superman, which were good.
That's why I stress mainstream, because before that is The Crow, which is a better movie and also R-rated. But
but previous on this list, whether you agreed or not, we had Batman '89, and we had Christopher Reeve Superman, which are good movies, which could go on a list.
But they're not R-rated.
You're hung up on the R rating. I'm hung up on the Marvel, because up to this point, Marvel didn't really have anything. So correct. Blade, that was the big deal for Blade in my mind, and it's an obscure character too to start with.
I guess this technically counts. I love this movie, but I don't think it's making my top 10. Iron Giant.
Is that based on I guess it's either. I don't remember it being based on a comic. Maybe they're calling it a superhero because it's like a big super robot. He's a Superman.
Mystery Men, though, that's a good movie. Not my top 10.
I agree with both of the things you said. Virus is not a good movie. It's a terrible horror movie. Batman: Return of the Joker. That's what I was talking about before. If I was picking a Batman animated, I know that's a little controversial, but I like that one a lot. And what I liked about it is it's like 2/3 Batman Beyond and like 1/3 Batman the Animated. So it's kind of best of both worlds. And yeah, I enjoyed that one a lot when
I enjoyed it. X-Men, we already said, not in our top 10. Josie and the Pussycats, I love. It's not in my top 10.
It's not in my top 10, but I was listening to the music from that yesterday.
It's great. It's good. Everything about it's good.
Yeah, it's really it has no right to be as good as it is. Yeah. From Hell, I found very disappointing.
All right, I have a contender for my top 10, Unbreakable.
Unbreakable is quite good. For a long time, that would have definitely been my top 10, but there was less choices. But I will put it. I'm just writing anything.
Yeah. I haven't seen Ghost World or From Hell.
We're in 2001 right now.
Correct.
Okay, yeah. I saw From Hell and Ghost World. From Hell, I did not like, but I hadn't read the comic. Maybe it's true to the comic. I found it boring. Ghost World, same thing. I didn't read the comic. I enjoyed it, but it's like an indie alt film. Like it is comics, but it's not top 10. Just the Pussycats, and then a whole bunch of made-for-TV movies for RoboCop. Blade 2. Would you put Blade 2 over Blade 1?
For the top 10 list, one of them would make it. Both of them would not.
Gotcha. And then Men in Black 2.
I enjoy the Men in Black movies. They're not cracking my top 10.
Then we got Road to Perdition was a good movie, but not top 10.
I have not seen it. Spider-Man, great movie. I don't think this specific one would crack my top 10.
If I was doing a Raimi, it would be 2, and I think most people would agree with me on that.
Yeah. Daredevil, I need to see the director's cut, but that one's not in.
I can't imagine the director's cut making it.
I've actually heard it makes it better. It's called the Coolio cut, because Coolio has a whole subplot in it.
Oh, okay.
That apparently makes it better. And I have a soft spot for that movie. I know it's bad, but I plan on watching that cut at some point. Haven't seen American Splendor.
I did. I liked it a lot. But again, it's hard for me to put that on the list because if we're looking at like comic book movies as like comic book is a medium and a genre like beyond superheroes, it is a really good representation of that comic. It's like an autobiographical thing and it has different actors and it's a well-made movie. It's a good movie. But I'm like, I never want to watch it again. You know, I'm not like it doesn't. I don't know. As much as we're saying it's comic books, I feel like really we're making a superhero list. Is what we're doing.
Ong Lee Hulk is a no. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, fun, but a no.
I remember hating that movie. You liked it?
I watched it as a kid.
Okay, again, I didn't even read the book, so I had nothing to compare it to. But isn't that the movie that made Sean Connery like want to quit acting? Isn't that like the story? I mean, he was getting ready anyway, but
X2 consideration for my top 10.
yeah, same.
2004 Blade Trinity, no. Catwoman, absolutely not. Hellboy, great movie, not my top 10.
That's probably not, but I'm gonna write it down because those first two Hellboys.
Incredibles, great movie, not in my top 10.
It would have been. That's another one that like a couple years back that would have been for me. Lady Death, The Punisher. That's the Thomas Jane one, I think.
We talked about that one. Yeah, Sky High, great movie, not my top 10. Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2 is a maybe for me.
And we had those back to back. We had Spider-Man 2 in 2004 and then 2005 with Batman Begins. That was the start. That was the tipping point.
Yeah. And it seemed like, ooh, Marvel and DC are both going to be doing great things.
Fantastic Four, that whole series is a no for me.
Yeah, same. There were some things I liked about some of those movies, but not anything close to Sin City. The first Sin City, I don't think it'll be top 10, but I'm going to write it down.
V for Vendetta, I haven't seen it long enough, but as of now, I would say no.
I liked it, but I wouldn't say top 10 for me.
I haven't seen History of Violence, but I heard it's great.
I enjoyed it, but again, not top 10. No, you said
no. I was more just like bummed because I like it, but you're right. It shouldn't be top 10.
I don't dislike it. I liked 300. I didn't love it, but I liked it. Aquaman. Oh, that's not the.
We've already gone over all the ones that are relevant there. 30 Days a Night. Now that's a good movie. It's not my top 10 though.
Agreed. And again, it's a horror movie. I feel like it doesn't fit.
Well, it's a comic horror movie, and it's very
that's the problem though, because it's like I'm allowing myself to let this be a superhero movie, because if it's a comic book movie, then like American Splendor should be on there and not, like some other superhero movie. So I'm I don't know. It's tough.
Ghost Rider, absolutely not.
No. What are we on? 2007? Yeah, 2007.
TMNT, I never saw.
I liked it. It was animated. I wouldn't put it over the live action movie or top 10. So
everything else we talked about. Now we're getting into the territory. Yeah. I can't tell if 2000. No, it's not the same one. It's different. Sorry, ignore me. Dark Knight, strong consideration for me.
I think that's already it's already on here. Yep.
Iron Man.
Dr. Horrible sing-along blog. I loved that. And I don't like musicals. But it's not even like a movie. It's like a 30-minute thing. Okay. During the first writer's strike, funny enough, because we're in the middle of a writer's strike right now, for those that don't know or who's watching in the future. Hellboy 2, again, I'd have to consider which Hellboy I like better. Incredible Hulk, I liked, but not now. Iron Man. Right.
Consideration.
Okay, for you? Okay.
Hancock, no.
Jumper, no.
Jumper I enjoyed, but yeah, definitely no. Superhero movie, absolutely not. Wanted, not really like the comic, and also no.
Same. Okay, we're 9. Green Lantern. Oh, for that
was the animated one. Bunch of animated stuff. Push, I haven't seen. That's based on a Vertigo comic or a Wildstorm comic, one of those. Surrogates, haven't seen.
Same. Watchmen. Now, this is controversial because the idea of Watchmen, the comic, it cannot be filmed, and it was filmed. And, of course, Alan Moore hates it because Alan Moore hates everything. But I did enjoy that movie.
I did as well.
And I did think it would be hard to get closer to the comic than they did in that movie. It's possible, and there were parts of that movie that were like the Rorschach stuff was like so perfectly dead on. I'm gonna put that as a contender, which I know some people like real comic people are like, what are you talking about? But and I love the comic and I've read the comic, but I'm putting that as a contender.
That's fair. I still need to see the director's cut of that, and I know it's so long. Whiteout, I've never seen, but probably not. Ooh. Okay.
We're in 2010 now?
Yup. I haven't seen 30 Days a Night, Dark Days. I haven't seen Dylan Dog, Dead of Night, but I heard it has a cult following. Iron Man 2 is a hard no.
A skateboarder? Or am I making stuff up?
I don't think it's a skateboarder. It was Brandon Routh in it. I think he's like some kind of demon hunter.
Oh, really? No, I totally got that. Iron Man 2. I liked Iron Man 2 a lot. I feel like some people didn't like. I liked it better than 3. Personally.
2 and 3, the arguments are which one you like more, but they're both not everybody's favorite. Is kind of
Well,
the general consensus.
I guess I saw 1, I'm like, that was really good. And I saw 2, and I'm like, that was really good too. And then I saw 3, and I'm like, not as much.
Kick-Ass is consideration for me.
Okay.
The Losers, love that movie. Not on here for me. Red, I haven't seen it in one sitting. It was fun.
I saw it, but I kind of forget it, so that means it's not top 10.
For me, Scott Pilgrim is in consideration.
I don't think it's gonna make it for me, but I'd probably write it down if you didn't. And that's another weird one where a lot of people are like, that movie's garbage, but like it's different. It's cool. And now I'm going against myself though, because it's not like really a superhero movie, like so. But
it's a comic movie through and through.
Yes.
If you do want to talk about a bad comic book movie, though, The Green Hornet that came out the following year is bad.
I never saw it. Or wait, no, did I? I don't remember. So it's not good. But yeah, I heard it.
Pretty much since like 2008, the like amount of movies they're considering is growing so much larger.
Yes. Okay. So 2011. I wish the animated movies weren't here because there's like stuff that was like straight to DVD or just on Cartoon Network.
I am number 4. One of my iconic quotes within my family is I was driving with my sister years ago and I was like, man, you know what really bums me out? She's like, what? That they're not going to make a sequel to I Am Number 4. And she brings that up to me more often than you would think.
I don't remember I Am Number 4.
It's based on a book. It's pretty good though.
Is it like it's like the 4th paranormal person? Oh, okay. I remember now that I'm looking at the poster. I never saw that.
It's not my top 10, but I did enjoy that movie. Thor is a no.
Thor is a no for me as well.
First Class, out of all of the X-Men movies, is probably a no, but I did enjoy it. Captain America, the first one, not in my top.
Same. 2002.
2012.
Or I'm sorry, 2012. Amazing Spider-Man, no. Although I did enjoy it to some extent, but I wouldn't put it in top 10.
And Avengers, consideration.
Yeah, consideration. And it was such a big deal when it finally happened because it was always like, it seems like it's going to happen. Is it going to happen? Another Men in Black.
Chronicle, good movie. Some would consider. I'm going to not just because I know myself.
Right.
Another movie that I've heard is great and I haven't seen, Dread.
I like Dread a lot. Yeah, I wouldn't.
So the reason
I'm going to write it down. I don't think it's going to make it. But.
Go for it. The reason I didn't is the reason I didn't see it is I heard it's a great imitation of an action movie called The Raid Redemption.
I've heard of that movie, but not seen it.
It's a phenomenal film. But they're like, yeah, they kind of just bite off the Raid Redemption. I'm like, oh, then I kind of don't need to see it then.
Well, I didn't see that, so I can't make that comparison. I also, and I'm not a huge Judge Dredd fan. I know the basics of Judge Dredd, one of which being that he doesn't take off his helmet. And so having watched Sylvester Stallone version and then watching this, I'm like, oh, this is like what Judge Dredd is supposed to be. Maybe it ripped off the Raid, maybe it didn't, but it felt they got it right. This is a Judge Dredd movie. The other one was like, what is this movie? I don't understand.
Going through the next one's a little bit faster because a lot of these we've already brought up.
Hold on, you're on 2013 or 14?
I'm on 13 now because I get to skim most of these. R.I.P.D. I haven't seen. I heard it was bad.
I did too, and it bums me out because it's Jeff Bridges and Ryan Reynolds, so it should be awesome. But
The Lone Ranger I haven't seen. I hered it's bad.
Same. The Wolverine I enjoyed, but it's not going to be top 10.
We already talked about that one. Yeah, everything else we can keep going.
Yeah, 2014 here now. Spider-Man 2 was horrible.
Big Hero 6 is a good one, but you know what? Consideration for me.
Woo! Over Incredibles, huh?
Yeah, honestly.
Big Hero 6. Okay.
Ooh, Winter Soldier, strong consideration.
You know what? I think that's my favorite Captain America movie.
Guardians. We're officially in Guardians territory.
Here's the problem with Guardians. We started with Guardians 3. Anything like that, is it like, are we going to put Guardians 1, 2, and 3 if we like them all? Or is it just like, you got to pick one?
I think for the consideration list, 1 and 3. I think 2 is good. I think we can agree 1 is better than 2 and 3 is better than 2.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I need to rewatch them. We were talking about this. I feel like 3 is the best but recency bias. But I remember seeing 2 and really liking. Now, full disclosure, I have father issues, so that really spoke to me.
Fair.
So and I saw it with Q, who at the time had similar. Like, there was a lot of personal stuff for both of us when that movie came out. Where we're like, wow, And I also really like Kurt Russell. Like, so yeah,
It's not a bad movie, but I think best of the series is not 2.
I think you're probably right, but I'm coming to the problem of like, how do I pick out of the
That's
3?
fine.
Yeah,
You can put all 3 for consideration. That list is not set in stone.
I guess that's the okay.
I Frankenstein haven't seen, heard it was bad. Hercules with The Rock, I haven't seen, heard it was bad. Lego Movie, not my top 10, but a good movie.
Thought that was a great movie, but yeah, not top 10.
Ooh, Snowpiercer.
That's a great movie, except for the CGI.
Not my top 10, but it is a great movie.
Yeah. The 2014 Ninja Turtles. No, I didn't see it.
Either of them.
I haven't seen either of them, but just the trailers alone let me know. And nobody's convinced me. Like, no, it's really good. Like, I've never heard anybody say that.
I haven't seen the Rogue cut of Days of Future Past, but that is a great movie. Just because we should put it down. Ant-Man, none of those are in top 10 for me.
I do like Ant-Man a lot. Excuse me. I'm gonna write it down. I don't think it's gonna make it, but I do like Ant-Man a lot.
Speaking of Avengers, because now we're on Age of Ultron, I think everyone but Age of Ultron should be in consideration.
Age of Ultron definitely was disappointing. I wanted to go back and rewatch it because I haven't seen it since it came out, but I definitely remember it being not good.
Yeah, it's not the best.
None of the Fantastic Four. I like the Kingsman quite a bit, but
I still haven't seen any of those, surprisingly.
I think there's only 2, isn't there?
No, there's Kingsman 2, and then The Kingsman.
That's a prequel one. Yeah, I really liked the first 2 a lot. They're ridiculous, by the way. They're not like serious movies at all, but they were a lot of fun. But when I saw they were doing a prequel, I'm like, oh, I don't think I care.
You know who wrote them, right?
What?
You know who wrote the comic it's based on, right?
No, who?
Mark Millar.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but not top 10, I don't think. Pixies, blah, blah, blah.
None of these.
2016.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. So this one, this is tough. So as an entire movie, it wouldn't make this list. If you just take the part that is the true story for the film,
Civil War.
We're not even there yet. I think there is a consideration for Batman the Killing Joke.
Oh, that was the animated one.
Yeah.
I have not seen it. I've read the
comic. What?
I've read the comic.
You haven't seen any of it?
The animated Killing Joke. I have not seen any of it.
What?
I heard generally that it was not good, and that it took weird liberties that were different from the comic that made it worse.
So, as spoiler free as I can be, not talking about the story itself.
Being a PG as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Killing Joke is a very short story.
Yes.
So they buffered it by padding the front of having the story that then would lead into the Killing Joke. That entire first story, you could just rip that whole thing out and just do the Killing Joke part, and it's phenomenal. The first part is the part where the liberties come in that I strongly disagree with, and so do other people, that make it, as a whole, not as good. It's kind of like having a great pizza that you just put this really stinky fish on. And I'm not talking about anchovies.
So they should have just made it like a 45-minute movie then, and had it been good. Like, it didn't have to.
But they wanted to make it a full hour and a half because it released in theaters.
Did it release in theaters? I thought
I watched it in the theater with my brother-in-law.
I did not remember that. That makes sense. Doesn't make it good, but it makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Deadpool, you want to put on for consideration, right?
Yeah, Deadpool and Civil War, I think, are both considerations.
Civil War was already on there, yeah. Doctor Strange, the first one, no.
None of those 3 are on mine.
Doctor Strange only had 2. He was in other movies.
Yeah, you're right. I thought for some reason he had a trilogy, but he didn't. No. None of the Suicide Squad movies, although the James Gunn one I did enjoy.
I'm not even going to count this because it's like Japanese, which why not? But I did see Gantz, and I really liked it a lot.
I haven't seen any of those, but
Suicide Squad, the one James Gunn did, is fantastic. I don't think it's cracking top 10, but I really did like it a lot.
I Kill Giants was a good movie. It was mostly a faithful interpretation, not my top 10.
Are we still on 2016?
I'm on 17.
Okay, hold on. Teenage the Apocalypse. Okay, yeah, Apocalypse is terrible.
Just
Okay,
trust me, my guy. I'm on here. Power Rangers 2017, hard no. Logan, we already said is consideration.
the reboot Power Rangers, no.
Ragnarok, I'm gonna put no, but some people might.
That's the one with Hulk. I'll put it in for consideration.
Okay.
I don't think it'll make it, but
So now that we're on the
hold on. I don't want to skip. I thought I saw something. Okay, the first Wonder Woman, Teen Titans. Okay, go ahead.
What I was gonna say for Spider-Man, I think we agree for the Tom Holland ones, No Way Home is in consideration.
Out of those three, I liked all of them, but I think No Way Home is the one that, yeah.
So I would put that in a consideration list of my own.
I think we already have that. Okay, yeah.
Batman Ninja is an acid trip of a movie. I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm not going to say it's good. It is a memorable watch.
I think Black Panther, consideration at least. I don't think it's going to make it for me. Well, I'm going to put it out for, yeah.
Yeah.
The second one, not so much, but the first one I liked.
The first one I liked. I think part of the thing that I have a problem with is a lot of people made it seem better than it was, and it's not a bad movie, but they're like, oh, it should be nominated for Best Picture. I'm like, no, it shouldn't. Like, it's not Best Picture even remotely quality-wise. Like, it's a good movie. It's not a Best Picture
I don't remember what it was up against. I remember you saying this at the time, and I was like, I don't know what it's up against. And also, Best Picture is a weird thing because I'm always like, well, does it mean it's like the best movie that's been made, or does it mean it's the most popular movie? Because it was a pretty popular movie.
It was objectively best.
There's no such thing as objectively best.
Here's the thing. Just on this list alone for that year, Infinity War is better than it.
Okay. That was the same year?
Yeah. I'm reading it in 2018.
Oh, yeah. We should probably put Infinity War. Well,
yes,
you said
Infinity War and Endgame both go on the list. I'll save you a trip. Okay. Incredibles 2, haven't seen it.
Not as good as 1, in my opinion. Still worth watching, but not as
Both good. Venom movies are no's?
Correct, for me as well. Into the Spider-Verse has to be considered.
Yes, strongly. Joker.
I've not seen Joker.
Or what? Okay. We're going to have a day where we don't record, and we're going to watch The Killing Joke into Joker, and then we're just going to check these off your list, because I am flabbergasted.
I know. It's not that I didn't want to see it. It was a thing where, like, I missed it, and it never came back down. And, like, then it was like people were going to watch it with me, and then they weren't, and then said, wait, and then, like, that kind of thing. So, no, I absolutely want to watch it, but I just haven't.
Captain Marvel is a no.
Wait, I lost where we were.
2019.
Okay, because Deadpool 2 you're not considering. Okay, 2019. Endgame, Captain Marvel, agree. I liked Captain Marvel, I think, more than most people, but it's not a top 10 for sure. You were talking about Brightburn. Is that a potential?
It's a good one. It's probably not cracking my top 10, but it is a good movie.
The reboot Hellboy is nowhere near as good as the other Hellboy.
I haven't seen it.
It's disappointing because what's his name that they got to play Hellboy is not bad casting. The guy from Stranger Days. Stranger Things.
Yeah.
The whole thing is not good. It's just not a good movie. It could have been, maybe, but it suffered from some creative just not knowing what they were doing. And it wasn't the acting. The acting was like, he was a good casting. But even having saying that, he wasn't Ron Perlman, who was perfect casting. Ron Perlman was Hellboy. If you weren't getting Ron Perlman, he's like a good secondary. But you had Guillermo del Toro and Ron Perlman, and they wanted to do a trilogy. They wanted to do the third one. So we all know we didn't get that third one, and then we got this one. And even putting that aside, it wasn't good. But with that on top of it, it's like, this is just a slap in the face. Anyway, no, that's not in my top 10.
So I'm going to lightning round the next 3 years.
You can't with me here.
Yeah, okay. I'm willing to make a Ninja Steel bet with you. If there is a movie from 2020 onward that you consider in your top 10, you get the Ninja Steel bragging point. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm looking. Okay.
Bloodshot, no, still haven't seen it. New Mutants was okay, but not good for this list. Wonder Woman, we said was a no. Black Widow is definitely a no. Eternals is a god-awful movie. Shang-Chi is a no.
I like Shang-Chi, but yes. No Way Home.
We already said that. I said I did it early.
Okay. And then the Suicide Squad, which I like, but it's probably not going to make it.
We didn't say this one, but I don't think it's cracking top 10. The Batman, I think, is a good movie. It's not in my 10
either. Same problem as the Joker, where I'm like waiting for someone and not waiting, and it never happens.
Morbius, I haven't seen. I heard it's terrible.
You are wrong. You are wrong. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
That's in your top 10?
It is a super strong contender. I love that movie because as much as I talk about other ones, like, well, that's like a horror movie. This is a lot of a horror movie, but it's still a superhero movie, and it fits Doctor Strange. It has dimensional travel, and this is, again, I'm not trying to sell you as like this is a super high quality movie.
I've seen it.
I loved it, and
I
don't think I've ever seen a Sam Raimi movie I didn't like, at least a bit. And this was like Sam Raimi. Yeah, no, there's a strong chance that's going to be in my top 10.
Speaking of Sam Raimi, but not
just the point.
Go for it. I said Doctor Strange earlier, and you didn't say it would be in your top 10.
You said none of those three, and then I had to correct you and say there was two, and we moved on. That's what happened.
When we said the first Doctor Strange, I said neither would make the top 10, and we moved on.
Get out of here.
You just didn't listen, but it's fine.
I'm gonna rate Suicide Squad down. It's not gonna make it, but I just want to make sure.
Morbius, again, haven't seen, heard it was terrible. Thor: Love and Thunder actively made me angry. Werewolf by Night was cool, not in my top 10.
Agreed. Okay, and so then there's a bunch upcoming. So if anything wasn't on there that was missed, then say it.
Say it, don't spray it. All right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna count how many we just said it all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We probably got like 30. I'm not going to count them, but we probably got 30 total. So let me get a new piece of paper. Why don't you say...
For the sake of time, we're not going one for one.
No. Why don't you say 5 that you're pretty sure of? And if you need help, I can pull from the list.
The Crow.
Okay.
The Dark Knight.
Okay.
Deadpool.
1.
Yeah.
Okay.
X-Men 2.
X-Men 2. Okay, one more. This isn't final answer. You could always redo, but I'm just trying to get them started here.
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Okay. No way. Okay, I will do the same where I'll just do 5. I'm going to say Doctor Strange, Multiverse. I'm going to say Spidey: No Way Home. I'm going to say Guardians 2. Especially after what I just said, I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should pick the one that has like a personal thing for me. I'm going to say Spidey: No Way Home. Oh, Logan.
Yeah.
And I need a 5th. Superman 2 Donner Cut. Okay. Now, do you want to do another lightning 5, or do you want to really think about it first?
If by lightning you mean I'm going to think about it, then yes.
Well, I mean, just like not like.
I know.
This is all still changeable. Is the point?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Logan.
Okay.
Guardians 3.
Mm-hmm. 2 more.
You go, because I need a sec.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna throw Spider-Verse on there too. Then I'm gonna say. Oh man, I'm forgetting. I'm gonna say. Which is the Avengers? See, now Guardians of the Galaxy is really winning in my brain because there was Infinity War and Endgame, and I forget which one. I think it was Infinity War, where they have Thanos and they almost win. Yeah, it's Infinity War, right? Okay, I'm going to put Infinity War then.
So I loved both of my movie watching experiences for Infinity War and Endgame, and I'm trying really hard to not have the environment sway the film.
The environment that you were in physically?
Like, I will never forget seeing both of those movies.
Right.
But taking that part away, the movie itself, like objectively speaking, how much
well, hold on. I only did 2, so I got to do a 3rd one here for this round. I'm going to put TMNT.
The first one?
Yeah, I don't know. It might get bumped, but like
The
again,
only reason I say that is because with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, there's so many different iterations of how it was said. I want to clarify.
Sure. The first live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, not
1990.
I think it was 1990. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that's the one. Which I still think has been the most true to the comic too.
So we have 2 more each. What have we not said yet?
Okay.
Just kind of as you can.
I'm gonna scratch through anything that we did say. So Superman 2, Logan, Spidey 2, Toby was said. Spider-Man, you said Guardians 3, Suicide Squad. I said. Then we got Avengers, the first one, Infinity War and Endgame, Batman 89, Batman Begins, Batman Dark Knight, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Hellboy, Superman. I guess the Richard Donner. I mean the Chris Reeves first one. Black Panther, X2, Sin City, X-Men: Days of Futures Past, Blade, Watchmen, Kick-Ass, Men in Black, Thor Ragnarok, Unbreakable, Mask of the Phantasm, Spidey 2 with Toby. I already said that one. Deadpool 1, Judge Dredd, or the second one, just Dredd. Ant-Man, The Crow. You said Scott Pilgrim, Big Hero 6, Iron Man. I think that's everything that has.
All right. Rough cut of the first list. Scott Pilgrim and Unbreakable.
Okay. I'm going to say Spidey 2, the Toby one.
Yeah.
And then this is tough. X2. I got Logan. Now I'm doing the thing of like, do I want to put another X-Men on? Batman 89. I see. I put Turtles on there because it's like such a sentimental thing. It's like, so shouldn't I put Batman 89? But it's like, and here's the thing: Turtles is a sentimental thing, and there hasn't been like a live action version that's knocked it off its throne. Batman 89 was a sentimental thing, but it's like I can't really say Dark Knight wasn't better than Batman 89. You know, so, I think I'm gonna put Dark Knight. I think yeah. Okay, so here's what's not on either of our lists. Suicide Squad, the other Avengers movies, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Hellboy, Batman Begins, Batman 89, Superman 1, Black Panther, X2, Sin City, Unbreakable, Blade, Watchmen, Kick-Ass, Men in Black, Thor Ragnarok, Mask of Phantasm, Ant-Man, Deadpool, Iron Man, Big Hero 6, and Dredd.
Was it X2 on mine?
Oh, you did. I'm sorry. You absolutely did.
So what's my list right now?
Your list is The Crow, Dark Knight, Deadpool 1, X2, Spidey No Way Home, Into the Spider-Verse, Logan, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Scott Pilgrim, and Unbreakable. Let's do this. Let's look at this another way. Let's see what's on these lists that you know you're not going to bump something off for. So, James Gunn Suicide Squad. I'm crossing it off because I know that's not for you. So we can get rid of that piece of paper. Blade. Are you going to bump anything off for Blade?
Probably not.
Okay. Black Panther. I'm not going to bump anything off for that. Kick-Ass 1. Are you going to bump anything for that?
I don't think so now.
Me neither. Batman Begins. Are you going to knock anything off for that?
No, we got Dark Knight on there.
Okay. Mask of the Phantasm?
No.
Men in Black?
Nope.
No. Thor Ragnarok?
Nope.
Yeah, me either. Unbreakable. Did you put that on? Oh, you already put that on there. Okay, you got that one. Deadpool, you have on there. Okay. Ant-Man is me. Am I going to bump? Yeah, no, I'm not. I know that. Dredd, I'm not. What'd you say?
I said, told you.
Well, no, but it was still worth. It was in the basket of 20 or 30. You know, it was still consideration. Iron Man. We had Iron Man 1, but any Iron Man.
Probably not, but I don't know.
Okay, well, I won't cross it off. Big Hero 6.
No.
Okay. So what is? Oh wait, X-Men Days of Future Past, right?
Yeah. No.
Same. Okay. Sin City.
No.
Same. Captain America, Winter Soldier, or Civil War.
That's a maybe
For both.
Yeah, just because like it would be one of them. I don't know which one it would be.
Okay. Hellboy.
No.
Get one zero. I'm not ready to cross that off for me yet. I am going to cross off the first Superman though. So now what's on the list this is for both of us, things that are maybe still in consideration. Iron Man, a Watchman. I forgot to say that one. Watchman.
Mine's a no.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so Iron Man, Hellboy, Captain America, either Winter Soldier or Civil War, Batman 89, Avengers, first one, Infinity War, and Endgame. Those are the ones that are like kind of potentially still in play. I'm going to review my list. Doctor Strange, Spidey No Way Home, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Logan, Superman 2, The Donner Cut, Into the Spider-Verse, Avengers Infinity War, TMNT 1990, Spidey 2, Dark Knight. The thing I'm most likely to cut from mine, weirdly, is Dark Knight. Because that's one of those ones where it's a fantastic movie, but it doesn't have my heart. Like, I'm like, it's a great movie, but I didn't love the one before it or the one after it, and it doesn't have me in that way. You want me to read yours again?
Mine, I believe, was Dark Knight, Crow, X2, Spidey No Way Home, Into the Spider-Verse, Unbreakable, Scott Pilgrim. What were the other three?
Deadpool 1, Logan, Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy is recency bias, but it's so good.
Yes. Well, it has it for me. Like, I want to put all three on there, so I'm just trying to limiting myself. And I'm going back and forth. I'm like, I said 2, but it should be 3. 3 is better. 3's better, right? But it's my list, so I'll put 2. And
I got to bump Guardians for Endgame.
So you're taking Guardians 3 off.
Yeah.
And you're putting Avengers Endgame on.
Yeah. Like it's the only thing to do what it did.
Yeah. So I'm going to cross off all 3 Avengers then, because we both have 1 and we're not going to probably have more than 1. Okay. So now I'm looking at Batman 89. Do I put that over Dark Knight, or do I put that over Superman 2, The Donner Cut? I'm going to take off Superman 2, The Donner Cut, and put Batman 89.
Wow. Hot take.
I think arguably the Superman one might be a better movie or more important, but I was never as into that as I was Batman 89. So that's a hot swap right there. So we got the ones that are still floating around here: Iron Man, Hellboy, and one of the Captain America movies.
The question is, do one of the Caps beat Spidey No Way Home or Into the Spider-Verse for me?
I feel like 5 of these for me were really easy and all the rest were not.
It's hard. I don't know.
I'm going to switch to Guardians 3.
Okay.
Because I just do think it's objectively a better movie, even though I like all of them. I think they're all like A movies, but that one's just like the A+ movie.
Yeah. It's really hard.
It certainly is.
I guess
I'm taking Dark Knight off, putting Hellboy on, and I'm done. The only caveat is I'm not sure if I'd put Hellboy 1 or 2, so I'm just gonna put Hellboy. And then now it's up to you if you want to swap in Iron Man or one of the Captain America movies.
Right now, where I'm torn on, I love Unbreakable.
Mm-hmm.
I love Civil War.
Mm.
So that would be the swap I can easily think of. You know what the hottest take?
You just decided you like Civil War better than Winter Soldier based on that.
Winter Soldier, I believe, is a better movie. I enjoy Civil War more.
I'm gonna cross off Winter Soldier.
That's fair.
So you have Iron Man and Civil War, the two. And
Iron Man's a no.
Iron Man's a no. Okay, Civil War is the only one you're considering. And you're wondering, okay, but you were about to say something else. I'm sorry.
The hottest take on my list is I've only watched in its entirety Into the Spider-Verse one time. I've seen bits of it a lot, but I've sat and watched it one full time through.
I can't remember if I've seen it once or twice. I think I've seen it twice.
But it's so good.
Yes. So you need to decide to finalize your list, because mine's done. I'm not 100% happy with it, but I don't think I ever will be, so I'm just going to let it be what it is.
Yeah, let's leave it.
Okay. So now let's cross-reference and see. We both have Spidey No Way Home. We used to both have Guardians of the Galaxy, but that changed. We both have Logan. We both have Spider-Verse. I have Infinity War. You have Endgame, so there's a split there.
Yeah.
And that's it. So the three we agree on are Spidey No Way Home, Logan, and Into the Spider-Verse.
I mean, you could say half because really Infinity War and Endgame are one big story, just split into two parts.
Well, okay, so we'll say that's like
that's the half.
That's the half. Well, and yeah, it is one whole thing. The reason I picked the one I did was twofold. One was this, and this is very controversial. This is my in Transformers circle. I'm the guy that likes Hot Rod when other people blame him for Optimus Prime's death. So like that's I'm very controversial opinion there. Similarly, in the first half, when they have Thanos, however you want to say it, and Star-Lord just starts wailing on him. That scene, I remember that scene more than anything else in both of those. Well, maybe Tony snapping, but like that stands out to me. And it was a mistake, and he ruined everything for everyone. But it made perfect sense, and it was true, and it felt like, yeah, I get it. I absolutely get it. It was bad. It was a really bad call, but he just couldn't help himself, and like it just felt like so real to me. And so, all these years later, like with all the spectacle, that's the part I always think of. And so that's why I picked that one. The other thing is they finally did it, and oh my gosh, it's coming out. And like the ending was cool, but the fact that it was happening the first, I'm like, I can't believe this movie's happening. And I knew part 2 had happened. So that was a little less exciting.
For me, I knew a lot, there was a lot in Endgame I wanted to happen, and everything I needed to happen did, and it was just chef's kiss.
Yeah.
That was the only time I can think of where like I was so invested in the movie that for a solid week I got rid of all social media so I couldn't get spoiled.
Right. I've done that several times, unfortunately, because I'm a maniac. But yes, I was with you on that one as well. So the Infinity Saga of Avengers, Into the Spider-Verse, Logan, and Spidey No Way Home are the ones we agree on. And if I had to pick a top one other than those, it would be between Doctor Strange and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And again, this is betraying a lot of recency bias because all the other ones are a little bit older. And I loved them at the time, but so I'll say, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 would be my number 4 pick. Like if we're just going this way, in terms of like, it is a better movie. It is a good movie, but Doctor Strange just feels like a movie that was made for me. It's just made for me. What about you? What would be your next on after those 3?
I mean, one of my go-to comic movies because it's such a deep cut is The Crow. I just love it so much. I got to bond with my dad about it because he loved it when it came out and has been preaching kind of for everybody to watch it ever since. So that'd probably be mine next. And then going after that, like I remember seeing Scott Pilgrim and then just like I've rewatched that movie so many times. Like I love it. I don't know what it is. Like I know it's not like the best movie ever, but I just like have no real complaints about it.
It's got really good style. It knew what it wanted to be and it did it.
Yes. Edgar Wright doing what Edgar Wright does.
Yeah. All right. Well, so none of this had to do with Power Rangers except for us both agreeing that none of the Power Rangers movies are in our top 10.
All 3 do not belong there.
Yeah. But officially, without bias, objectively, the 3 best superhero / comic movies ever made are Into the Spider-Verse, Logan, and Spider-Man No Way Home. It has been written. It is done. And until next time, I've been Gazbot.
Before we fully end, can you just do a quick lightning round of your 10 and my 10? Because I don't even remember them all.
No, nobody wants to hear that.
Wow.
I'll give it to you later.
I'm the big dog.
An hour and 10 minutes. Nobody cares anymore.
And to the power.
To the power. And
I'll read them over the credits. How about that? Would that make you happy?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, here's yours. The Crow, Dark Knight, Deadpool 1, X-Men 2, Spidey No Way Home, Into the Spider-Verse, Logan, Scott Pilgrim, Unbreakable, and Avengers Endgame. Over to Gazbot, it's Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man No Way Home, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Logan, Into the Spider-Verse, Avengers Infinity War, TMNT, the live-action 1990 movie, Spidey 2, the Tobey Maguire one, Batman 89, and Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy. Maybe 1 or 2. He couldn't remember which one, so we're going to go with 1.
Probably 1. Thank you very much. Boom.
See you, everybody.